Yes, hi there. Welcome to the next training session based on cross applications. So, in our last session, we have discussed some important point related to our BAPI, right? So, there we have discussed about what? About these business objects, business object, right? So, business objects are used for performing some business task, right? And how we can access these business object if we are in this we can say this SAP system. There we can call the associated BAPI function module to access the business object, right? And a legacy programmer, if a legacy programmer is trying to access any business object from a legacy system, in that case what that legacy programmer has to do, it has to call the associated API method, right? All these things we have discussed in our last session, right? So here what we will do from our SAP system, what we will do, we will call one BAPI function module to perform some business task. Okay, so what is the business task here? We will what we will insert some data into our database table, into our one of the standard database table. Okay, right. So let's get into the system. And as we know where all these business objects stored into our BOR, na business object repository, right? Let's log in here. Yes, so first of all what we will do, sorry, not BOR, what is the T code? BAPI, na, right? Yes, so here we are having these two tabs, hierarchical and alphabetical, right? So these are all are modules here. These all are here modules, right? And each module will have multiple multiple business object. Okay, right. So either we can choose any business object from this hierarchical tab or this alphabetical tab, right? Yes, so let's do one thing. Let's check, let's expand this cross application component here, expand this. Yes, so here under this cross applications, these are different business object, and under this cross application component we have some module also. One of the sub module is what? Bank classification, document so and so, right? Financial services. One of the sub module is what? Bank. Okay, so under this sub module there can be what? There can be multiple business object, right? Let's expand this one also, bank. Yes, so here we can say there are what? There are two business object. One is what? Bank, and second is IBAN. Okay, right. So this is what? This is our business object, right? So here we can say object name is what? Bank here. So description bank. Object type is what? BOS 1011. Okay, package is BF underscore bank. Okay, these are the details related to this package, related to this business object here, right? And under this object, under this business object, as we discussed, there can be what? There can be multiple API method under each of the, we can say, each of the business object can be associated with one or more API methods, okay. If we expand this business object, that is bank, let's expand this. Yes, so here we can say there are what? There are multiple API methods. API methods will be called by a legacy programmer from a legacy system. If legacy programmer wants to what? Wants to access this business object bank. Okay, right. So these all are what? These all are API methods. API method like what? Get list, get details, create, change. All these are what? All these are API methods. Right? Like if we take this create, this is the method name, right? Business object is what? Bank here. Business object name is bank here, right? And as we discussed in our last session, that each API method will be associated with some BAPI function module, right? So this create API method is associated with which function module? That is BAPI underscore bank underscore create, BAPI underscore bank underscore create, right? So if we want to perform some task on this business object, that is bank, then what we have to do? We need to call this BAPI function module, right? That is for create. Okay, BAPI underscore bank underscore create, right? So here what we will do, we will call this BAPI function module. Okay, we will call this BAPI function module to perform the task, to perform what, this create bank task, create bank task. Okay, right. So as we know, before calling any function module, what we have to do, we need to check the signature of that function module. Okay, right. So what we can do, either we can go to this SC37. Okay, let's do one thing, let's go to the SC37 only. Or what we can do, we can just double click here, we can just double click on this BAPI function module, right? It will control will go to the function builder, right? Double click on it. Yes, so here we are in what? We are in the function builder. This is the source code here. In the attributes, if we check here, the type of the function module is what? Remote enabled function, remote enabled module. Okay. So the point here to understand is what, we can say every BAPI function module will be remote enabled function module, we can say, right? But every remote enabled function module may not be the BAPI function module. Okay, let me repeat, every BAPI module, right? So what we can say, what is the naming convention of BAPIs? In our last session we have discussed now. Every BAPI function module will start with BAPI underscore, right? So every BAPI function module will be of type what? Remote enabled function module, right? So we can say every BAPI function module will be remote enabled function module, right? But this remote enabled function module, every we can say every remote enabled function module may not be the may not be the BAPI function module. Okay, right. So this is the BAPI function module, BAPI underscore bank underscore create. This is a type of what, remote enabled function module. If we check the importing parameters here, yes, so here we can say 2 4 6 8, there are total 8 eight importing parameters are there, right? Out of these eight importing parameter, only two parameters are what? Two parameters are mandatory, other parameters are optional here. Okay, so let's focus on the mandatory importing parameter only. One of the mandatory parameter is what? Bank underscore country. Okay, so what we have to do, we need to pass the bank country to this while calling this function module, BAPI function module. Okay, right. Bank country, and next is what, this bank address. Okay, so we need to we need to pass the bank address data as well. We need to pass the bank address data as well. Okay, right. Now let's check the associated type here. Yes. So here we can say bank country. It is of type what? BAPI 101011 underscore key. Okay. And hyphen bank underscore country. Okay. So by watching this associated type, what we can understand that this is like a structure. This is like a structure, and from where it is the hyphen is start. This is what? This is a field. Okay. Let's double click and check it. Double click on it. Yes, so here we can say this is the structure. Structure name is what? BAPI 1011 underscore key. Okay, so this is the structure, and under this structure there are some fields. Okay, so one of the field is what? Bank underscore country. Bank underscore country. Okay, so what we have to do, and it is of type what? What is the data type here for this bank country? Character length of what? Length of 3. Okay, so what we have to do, we need to pass the bank country field, we can say field to this to this importing parameter, mandatory importing parameter. Okay, so what we will do, we will create one variable of type this structure field, and then we have to assign some value to that variable, and then we have to pass that variable to this importing parameter. Okay, right. So this is for the first importing parameter which we have to do, right? Next is what? Bank address, right? This bank address is of what type? We can say it is a BAPI 1011 underscore address. Okay, so by watching this type, what we can understand that it is a work area, it is a structure here. Okay, let's double click on it, check it. Yes, so here we can say this is a structure. Structure name is what? BAPI 1011 underscore address. Okay, and what it will do, we can say transfer structure object so and so bank address. Right. So there are total 11 fields under this structure. Okay. So what we have to do, we need to create one work area of same types with the same structure, right? And then we have to what, we have to assign some value, we have to assign the values for some of the fields, or we can assign the value for all of the fields. It is as per our choice. Okay, so then what we have to do, we need to pass that work area to this what that work area of type is the same structure for this importing parameter, mandatory importing parameter, that is bank underscore address. Okay, right. So this is the we can say this is the thing which we have to do in case of this two mandatory importing parameter. Okay, right. Now let's check the exporting parameter also. Yes, good. So here we can say this BAPI function module is having one of the exporting parameter, that is what, return, that is return. Okay, and what is the associated type here? BAPI ret2, BAPI ret2. Okay, returns. Okay, so let's check what it will return here. Already we have discussed in our last session that what every BAPI function module will have what, will have one exporting parameter called as what, the return, right? And what is the purpose of this return exporting parameter? It will return the execution status of our what BAPI function module. Okay, so what it will do, it will return the execution status of our BAPI function module, right? Let's check this type here. Okay, double click on this BAPI ret2, ret2. Okay, double click. Yes, so here we can say this is also a structure here, this is also a structure here. Okay, right. And there are some 14 fields. One of the important field here is what, type. Okay, right. So it will give some message type. Okay, so this type is nothing but message type. What it will indicate, it is of what, character of length 1, and it can give the values as what, SEWA. Okay, so S is for success. Okay, so if the message type is S, it means we can say our BAPI function module execution is success. Okay, if it is E, it means there is error. W for warning, I for info, some info, A for about. Okay, right. And one more important, we can say one more important field is here is what, this message. Okay, so what it will do, it will display the message text, okay, right. So what we will do, it is highly recommended, we can say strongly recommended to what, to return the this we can say to receive the this exporting parameter. Okay, right. So let's go to the SE38. Okay, and there we will create our program where we will call this BAPI function module. Okay, right. So what we have to do, go to the SE38. Let's give some name here, any name we can give. Let's say gr underscore something, let's say cross 6, cross 6. Okay, do we have the cross 6? No, we do not have. Okay, right. So let's give some title here. Let's say something, let's say what, call BAPI function. What is the BAPI function name? BAPI function what, BAPI function module name, that is what, bank underscore, what was it, one second please, BAPI underscore bank underscore create. Okay. Yes. Okay, so let's say it as what, executable program. Save it as what, local object, right? So first of all, what we have to do, for this first importing parameter, what we have to do, we need to create one variable now of type so and so, right? So what we will do, we will create one variable of type this. Okay, this field, this structure field. Okay, right. So here we will say data, let's give some name. This is what, this is a bank country, na, bank country. Okay, so let's say v underscore bc, bank country, v underscore bc, type what, what is the type there, BAPI 101 underscore key. This is the structure. Okay, and this is the field. Okay, right. Now what we have to do, we need to what, we need to create one work area of type this structure. Now we need to create one work area of this type structure, of this structure, and then we have to what, we have to pass that work area to this mandatory importing parameter, right? So